Man, these early mornings aren't getting any easier. We have a long day ahead of us today. We're doing a 10-hour out and back trail to a lesser known 3,400 meter mountain called the Mettelhorn. Not to be confused with the Matterhorn. We were lying awake listening to thunder last night. When we got up and checked the weather forecast, it looked like there might be thunderstorms in the afternoon as well. So far we did two big mountains over here in the Swiss Alps, the Mettelhorn and the Alphubel. Surprisingly, after 4 days of intense mountaineering, everything feels alright. How do you feel after two big mountains in the Alps?
Slightly broken, but not broken enough.
What a beautiful hotel and restaurant this is. They have the best view of Zermatt. I want to share something with you today, but I'm gonna hang back a little bit so that Viv doesn't hear what I'm saying. Over the last 4 or 5 days, we did so much hard work, and I just want to say how impressed I am with her. We had like the sketchiest conditions in terms of like snow melt and ice. I mean, overall, over those 4 or 5 days, I think we've done like 5,000 meters or over in ascent and descent. She's just such an absolute legend. Viv, I want to ask you something.
What?
Are you enjoying these straight, easy paths?
So much. This makes it all worth it.
Don't you miss the glacier?
Not really, but I was just reflecting on that.
I think this is a narrow path for both of us, but let's try. What were you reflecting on?
How sad it was to see the glaciers this year. They're really in a bad state.
Oh, because they're melting.
Yeah.
Yeah. We met a few people that basically did these mountains before, and you always hear these stories, but it's really sad when someone actually tells you like the level of the glacier used to be here and we're like 50 meters, 70 meters above that point. So where was I? A couple of years ago, Viv had a couple of accidents that resulted in her getting concussed. She spoke with the doctor about it, just to understand why it was happening, because she was just banging her head in like normal circumstances. The doctor basically told her that he thinks that she might have this condition called dyspraxia, which basically means that you have issues with coordination and movement. Viv basically struggles with spatial awareness. She doesn't really understand what the distance of like certain objects are away from her, and this very easily leads to being more accident prone than other people. We've always done hiking for the last 7 years in our relationship, but she kept saying to me that she wanted to get into mountaineering, and even her parents and her brother, everyone was concerned. And if you know mountaineering, you know how much you need spatial awareness, coordination and movement. But she started slowly, trained a lot, expanded on her comfort level, and didn't use any of that to hold her back. She worked super hard over the years to get better and to develop the skills and the confidence. Viv, you are such a legend. You come such a long way. I honestly look up to you. Hurry up, Viv. You're so slow sometimes. Jesus. We probably said this quite a few times, but this is possibly one of the most beautiful places that we've ever been to.
Most beautiful hike.
If you're ever coming in the Zermatt region and you want to acclimatise, this is a great opportunity. This mountain would be one of the best options around. The trail isn't too rough so far and the views are stunning. We stopped to have an oat and blueberry bar. So let me show you something. We done 2 hardcore mountains, long days, came back from them, no injuries. Viv gets back to the apartment we're staying in, burns her hand on the stove straight away.
I wasn't made for cooking.
We got higher and inevitably the Matterhorn emerges from behind. I also think we can see our first signs of the Mettelhorn. It's connected to another mountain of a similar height called the Platthorn. I don't know which one is which yet, but we're getting closer. Let me show you the cutest sheep you ever saw in your life. This is the first time that I'm seeing them. I'm gonna try to get up close to them. Hey buddy, how you doing? Who's a cute little boy? Suddenly, our luck looked like it was about to change. It's getting super overcast now. Some of those mountains are already covered in cloud, looking very ominous. We checked the weather today and it said that from about 12 we're gonna start having a risk of thunderstorms, but possibly later on. It's about 9 a.m. now. I think we have an hour and a half left to the summit. Despite being so close to our goal, we were afraid that if we get caught in a thunderstorm, it will be exactly on Mettelhorn's summit. So we decided to go back. On a side note, the reason why I told you the previous story is because if you have anyone in your life that has been working really hard and deserves appreciation, I think that you should tell them that. Viv, you're a great mountaineer.
You're not so bad yourself, baby.
Thanks. Right, time for some good stuff now. When we came back from Alpine a few days ago, one of the mountaineers that we were climbing with, and this is in the 13th hour of climbing by the way, was saying, why do we do this to ourselves? This is just sadistic at this point. I just don't get it. And my thought to that is that it just makes the good things even better.